Welcome back. We're on lesson 102 in the Course in Miracles, and that lesson is I share God's will for happiness for me. You do not want to suffer. You may think it buys you something, and you may still believe a little that it buys you what you want. Yet this belief is surely shaken now, at least enough to let you question it, and to suspect it really makes no sense. It has not gone as yet, but lacks the roots that once secured it tightly to the dark and hidden secret places of your mind. Today, we try to loose its weakened hold still further and to realize that pain is purposeless, without a cause and with no power to accomplish anything. It cannot purchase anything at all. It offers nothing and does not exist. And everything you think it offers you is lacking in existence, like itself. You have been slave to nothing. Be free today to join the happy will of God. For several days, we will continue to devote our periods of practicing to exercises planned to help you reach the happiness God's will has placed in you. Here is your home, and here is your safety. Here is your peace, and here there is no fear. Here is salvation. Here is rest at last. Begin your practice periods today with this acceptance of God's will for you. I share God's will for happiness for me, and I accept it as my function now. Then seek this function deep within your mind, for it is there, awaiting but your choice. You cannot fail to find it when you learn it is your choice, and that you share God's will. Be happy, for your only function here is happiness. You have no need to be less loving to God's Son than He whose love created Him as loving as Himself. Besides these hourly 5-minute rests, pause frequently today to tell yourself that you have now accepted happiness as your one function, and be sure that you're joining God's will in doing this. I love the fact that the universe provides synchronicities for me. And so as I was preparing to do this, I was getting ready for the day and I was listening to another person, Eric Iomedes. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. He does a Wildfoot Fit diet lifestyle change. And he was talking about the fact that there was a research study done and it proved that our perception, our beliefs really direct our awareness and our attention. Because when we believe something, we want to go out and prove that it's right. We want to see if we can find evidence that it's there, that we're correct in that assumption. And so if you think that you're lucky or you think that you are unlucky, it will change the things that you become aware of. And in the experiment, they took random people, asked them if they were lucky or unlucky, if they felt lucky or unlucky. Their answer gave them the group that they were placed in. Those who felt they were unlucky were placed in the unlucky group. Those who felt they were lucky placed them in the lucky group. They sent them into a mall where they had hidden money in various places, not deeply hidden, sort of on the ground, on a clothes rack, by a cash register, places you could see, but you'd have to be able to kind of look. The amazing thing was the people that thought they were lucky went in and guess what? They found money. The people that believed that they were unlucky found nothing. And there was money, the same places, same situations. It's just proof that our awareness really changes what we see. If I'm feeling like I am, 2-ton Tess, and I want to see if that's right, I will compare myself to anybody who I think is thin or who I think might be heavier than me, and compare that way. I will go and look at clothing that I think that I would like to be able to fit into, and if I try those on, of course, they don't fit, and so it's proof that I'm overweight. Whereas if I feel that I am my perfect weight, then I'm going to find clothes that fit me. And I'm going to look at other people and realize that they're their perfect weight as well. And so God's will for us is happiness. If we are aware of our own happiness, If we choose happiness, then we go about and we focus and become aware of where we have so much to be happy about. We are happy within ourselves. We are grateful that we wake up and get out of bed every morning. We are grateful when we have a bed to get out of. We are grateful when we have had a chance to sleep. We are grateful that each day brings new opportunities. God's will for us is happiness. We are choosing suffering. Remember that the suffering is the illusion and it's purposeless. Pain is purposeless. That doesn't mean that when we do something like exercise, you're not going to have some discomfort. That's evidence that you're working. We don't want it to be painful. It can be a little uncomfortable because change is uncomfortable. I hope that makes sense. Okay, before I go on for another hour, I'm just going to read Team Spalding's channelings. I share God's will for happiness for me. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know is Jesus. Have you not noticed it is always more preferable to be happy than to be sad? There is an innate knowing within you that this is the way you are meant to be. When you are happy, everything is better. Your life is better. Your finances are better. Your relationships feel better. Your opinions of yourself and others are better. When you suffer, sacrifice, or feel out of sorts, as you say, the very same things, everything, looks awful. You have an innate knowing that happiness is preferable to sadness. You innately know freedom is a natural preference over imprisonment. You don't have to study anything to know this. That is because it is God-given, and it is natural to be happy. So when you are sad, know that you have made an error of thought. You are not sinful. You are not bad. You merely made an error of thought. Ask yourself, what thoughts do I have that cause this sadness? I don't have enough money. That thought will cause you sadness. I'm not attractive enough. That thought will cause you sadness. I am not a success. That thought will cause you sadness. If you have these thoughts, then you are out of accord with God's will for you. If you say, I'm very successful, you feel good, and that means you are successful. That is the alignment you seek. It doesn't matter how you define success. Your idea of success may be to do nothing all day long. That could be your idea of success and God's will for you. If that is your purpose, to be a non-productive purpose, and there are beings whose purpose is indeed that, then that will make you happy. In your day-to-day living, look for those little things you indulge in that cause you suffering and make you sad. Know you are off track there, and you need to reassess the wording of your thought, belief, or idea. In that reassessment, shift it around a little bit. Turn it around. Make it go back to front and upside down. See which statement feels better for you. You are the master of your ship. You accept or eliminate your thoughts. Some thoughts need to be ignored and let go, and they will dissipate and go away. Other thoughts need to be paid attention to because they inspire. They cause you joy, and they return you to that natural state of happiness. That is God's will for you. I am that one that you know is Jesus, and we will see you again tomorrow. One of the big things that I was thinking of as I was reading that is when we think that we should be somewhere else, with someone else, doing something else, in a different job, when we think that we should be anything but where we are, we will be sad. When we think that it is time to leave where we are, that's okay. We can be happy about that because it means we've grown. And it's fine to realize that you are no longer resonating with a particular person or a particular group. It may mean that you two have drifted apart in the way that you're growing. It may mean that the work that you've done together is complete. If you are sad, you are having erroneous thoughts. How's that for a simple identification? If we want signs from the universe, we have to look at where we are at. If we are sad, if we are not in our natural happy state, then we're having some misalignment with our own truth. If you look at babies, They tend to be very happy unless there's a problem, unless there are needs that are not met. When they are feeling hungry, they may cry. When they are wet, they may cry. When they have been bumped or bruised, they will cry. When they are in need of the parent or some love, they will cry. But when their need is met, they stop. And that's why their moods can switch very quickly. They don't remain in that space of worrying at that point what's going to happen the next time. That is how we develop beliefs, but that's a topic for another conversation. So today, pay attention. Use the thermometer, use the barometer of your emotion, of your happiness and your sadness, to realize whether you are in alignment or out of alignment with your truth, to realize whether you are focusing on the error thoughts or whether you are in alignment with your true thoughts. See what is happening for you, and you will see whether you're in that natural state or not. Goodness. All right. Have a splendid Monday, everyone, and I will talk to you again very soon. Bye.